There are times that we wait for a long time for God to answer our prayers, and the answers seem long forthcoming. And unfortunately, we end up settling for a lesser thing than what God had in mind or has in mind for us. And now we end up managing that lesser thing because first, it's not what you wanted. And secondly, you have to convince yourself to like it because that's not what you wanted, so you have to manage it. But I'm here today to tell you and encourage you, do not settle. Do not settle for less other than God's best. I am Joan Lydia Mbeyu and welcome to my YouTube channel. For those who are new here, this is a safe place where we aim to learn, unlearn and relearn, sharing the wisdom that we pick here and there, godly wisdom that will transform us and help us become better versions of ourselves as we pursue God in every aspect, in every sector we find ourselves. So today I'm here to encourage anybody who has been waiting on God for a really long time to come through for them in whatever area of life, and you're on the verge of giving up and are ready to settle for whatever is available and easy. Today I am here to encourage you, do not settle. Do not settle for lesser than what God has intended for you. So let's sit back, relax, and let's jump into it. Waiting on God to answer your prayers and fulfill the promises that He has given you can be one difficult process and journey. Like you, I have felt that burden of waiting on God to come through for me on particular matters of life. And that burden piles up day by day, month by month, year by year, until it becomes unbearable. But today I'm here to encourage you, instead of letting go of that burden and just settling for what is easy, what is just there, what is readily available, instead of letting go, you can keep on holding on and bearing that burden, but supported by prayers, backed up by prayers, uplifted by prayers, continuous communication with God, letting Him know of every pain, every frustration, every feeling that you have of bearing that pain, venting it out to Him. And I'm not saying that once you let it out to Him, communicating it out to Him, that the answer will come just immediately, but God will renew your strength of bearing that burden. He will help you bear that burden. He'll give you a fresh strength and a fresh boldness, a fresh courage to continue with that waiting on Him journey until He comes through for you. Be it that you're trusting God for a job, you're trusting God maybe to pursue your education, maybe further education, be it you're trusting God for a marriage partner, if you're trusting God for a child, I wouldn't want you to settle down for what is easy, for what is available, for what is just there, or letting go of that dream or desire you've had for a really long time and just giving up and settling for what is just there, because if you settle, trust you me, you will not like the consequences of that. It is sad when you see people settling for something that you know that they are way above it, or they deserve way more than that. It is very sad to see people settling for less than what you know that they deserve, taking matters into their hands and building counterfeit promises and counterfeit blessings that end up coming to cause them heartache and pain and even loss of time, loss of money, loss of even yourself. Tell you what, life is too short to settle for second best or third best or fourth best. Life is too short to not live it with passion and live it with the best of the best. And to get the best of the best, sometimes it needs time. It needs time. It takes time for it to come. So it requires for you to be a bit patient, to wait on these best things. And one thing I'll tell you about waiting on God to answering your prayers and fulfilling your promises is that it takes strength, and your own strength alone cannot help you fulfill that. It needs God to boost you up with His own strength to help you get to that point of Him delivering that promise to you. The Bible talks about having strength like an ox, a wild ox. So recently I was reading on the internet about a wild ox, and it was very interesting to know that an ox is it's a strong animal. And I was reading one fact about it, that even if it's tired, you won't know that it's tired. It renews its strength even in its tiredness, even in its weakness, to be able to get over with whatever maybe task it has, or maybe if it's a predator coming after it, even in its tiredness and weakness, it will renew its strength and get away from that predator. And that's how the Bible requires us to be, having strength like an ox, even in your weakness, even in your tiredness, telling God to renew that strength in you, so you can be able to bear whatever burden, whatever it is that has become very tasking to you. The Bible even continues in Isaiah 40:31 that those who hope in the Lord, He will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary, and they will walk and not be faint. So this shows you that God is willing to help you even on waiting on Him. He's willing to renew your strength. He's willing to give you fresh strength like the ox. So submit to God's timing and trust Him to make good of your heart's desires. Waiting on the Lord is difficult, but trust me, the wait pays off. And the results that come after your waiting period are so worth it. And eventually, after pressing on and waiting on God, He will come through for you with the answers of your heart desires and fulfilling the promises that you have waited on. And oh, what a joy it is when you receive the desires of your heart that you have been waiting on for a really long time. And God will make you laugh. Just as the Bible says, and God made Sarah laugh, God will make you laugh. So do not settle for less. Do not settle for less. And I know in the process of waiting, you'll experience all kinds of emotions, from doubt to fear to worry, especially if you see maybe some friends or those who are close to you being blessed with what you desire. It can cause some unusual feelings in you. So what I encourage you to pray, one prayer that I learned, or I have learned to make during my waiting periods, is that God to renew my strength and continuously help me to hope in Him, and also God to help me with my emotions and bypass my emotions and do what's best for me. So that's it from me. Till next time, take care of yourselves. Bye.